As with Just Landscapes 21, still using the 12-50 lens and the EM1 spot metering and saving to RAW. During this period under consideration, I spent much of my time in Shropshire, west of Birmingham, bordering Wales. The southern half of the county, stretching towards Herefordshire, has a captivating range of hills: Longmynd, Carcaradoc and Wenlock Edge, inspiring landscapes for photographers who wish to escape the honeypots of Snowdonia, the lakes and Scottish Highlands. This tide mill is much photographed. The boat was perfectly placed for framing the subject, with the bonus of a reflection. Pity I didn't quite get the whole of the mill in the reflection, but otherwise I might have fallen into the river. A much photographed scene, but not from here. This is a secluded bay accessed by steps and well worth the diversion, and it has something a bit different. Although on programme the camera chose f11, providing plenty of depth of field, additionally helped by the wide-angle end of the lens. Spot meter the cliffs, that was important, because they can become easily overexposed, losing detail. They should not be rendered as a bland white. Steyning is one of the most attractive Sussex villages, but I had to wait for people and cars to disappear. I also corrected converging verticals in Adobe Lightroom. An excellent taster for Shropshire's high hills. A road, incidentally, is just behind me where cars can pull over. Notice how the footpath leads the eye to the distant peak, an important compositional point to create the third dimension. Ludlow is one of Shropshire's great architectural towns, a place to savour. Less well known is Whitcliffe, a fine viewpoint outside the town. Notice how I have framed the view between trees, adding a foreground of bracken, their warm hues enhancing the composition of greens and blues. I was visiting Stokesay Castle, and was informed by staff that a steam train was due to pass on the nearby main line between Ludlow and Shrewsbury, so a brief diversion was essential. I also had time to choose this viewpoint, and the image has since been published on a greetings card. There is a public footpath to the other side of the lake, providing a view back to Stokesay Castle, the prospect enhanced by a perfect reflection courtesy of weather. Not far from the last scene is the open landscape over the Clun Valley to the distant hills. I have gone in closer with the telephoto end of the zoom, so that the path and hedgerow now lead the eye towards those distant hills. Much of my market is picture postcard, but there are occasions when shafts of light, as here on Carcaradoc, just outside Church Stretton, offer the alternative approach. A favourite view of Brighton, in winter when there are less people. This time I selected aperture priority to maintain good depth of field, enhanced by the wide-angle end of my zoom lens and manually focusing in about a third of the way and not on the background. At Dorset we approach the Jurassic coast, a landscape rich in coastal scenery that stretches into Devon. Swanage is within walking distance, a fine bracing walk over the cliffs. The highlight and probably the objective of such a walk are the rocks at Old Harry, chalk stacks that probably stretched across Poole Harbour to the Needles on the Isle of Wight thousands of years ago. In this series I am still looking back 10 years, and each time I am amazed at the technical quality of the images, some of which have been published, which I consider the acid test. However, it should be noted that success is confirmed by weather, being in the right place at the right time, and that is often the hidden skill of landscape photography and not just camera choice. In my film days, I used a Hasselblad 500 cm, and soon after I commenced my professional activities, I was reminded by a client that using a Hasselblad did not make me a better photographer. I used it for 20 years before going digital.